Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Siti Nur Aini binti Muhammad Fauzi. My metric number 1182102. In this video, I will explain about the application of CanSlim in Iwcity company. First, let us look the introduction first. Iskandar Waterfront City Berhad is incorporated on 31 December 1968. It is an investment holding company which engaged in the development of residential and commercial properties and has 7 wholly owned subsidiaries and 2 associates within the group. The original name of this company was Tebrau Teguh, incorporated as limited company in Malaysia. Their mission is to build a sustainable development area that promotes quality and innovative products and excellent services that meet customers' needs and ultimately ensuring equitable shareholders' return, as their vision is to become a leading integrated property developer and builder that focus on community living and quality development. Next, I will explain the first element of CanSlim, which is current earnings. According to William J. O'Neill, suggests an accompanying sales growth of at least 25%. The current quarter's earnings should be up 25% from the same quarter of the previous year. As for Iwcity, the table shows the quarter report history for the company. We can see in 31 May 2021, Iwcity recorded a loss of 5,776 million instead of net profit. The total revenue of Iwcity for the last quarter in 31 May 2021 is 7.537 million, and it is 61.64% lower compared to the previous quarter. Besides, the company's earning per share does not show any growth. Their EPS recorded a negative result over the first 3 quarters, and from this we can say that there is no increase in percentage of EPS. We can conclude that Iwcity recorded a negative result as there are no growth. Next, annual earnings growth is a fundamental analysis and it indicates a stock's long-term growth potential. The annually compounded growth rate of earnings should be greater than 25% over the 4 to 5 years. Looking back at the last 5 years, the revenue hit its 5-year low in 31 December 2016 of 76.6 million. As we can see, the recorded results of their revenue are fluctuated and inconsistent. However, from year 2017 until year 2021, their profit margin recorded a decrease, although in year 2019 they recorded a significant increase in their revenue of 219.3 million, the profit margins are still declining. From the analysis, we can conclude that the company did not make any growth as their profit margin keeps declining over the 5 years. Declining profit margins also contributed to the decline in stock price. Now we move to the next element of CanSlim, which is N. Criterion N includes a new product, a new leadership personality, or any news recently released by the company. A good company will always invent something new or look for new innovations to keep the company always relevant in the industry. As for Iwcity, in recent announcement made on April 2021, Iskandar Waterfront City Berhad has proposed to place 83.7 million new shares to 5 new investors, including Tiong Nam Logistics Holding Berhad Managing Director Ong Yong Nyok. According to Iwcity, the fact that Ong now owns 5.9% of the company will serve as a confidence boost and commitment for the group's essential value. This is considered as a good news as the proposed placement will enable the group to take leverage of Ong's extensive business network and experience to improve the group's financial performance in the future. Next is supply and demand. Supply and demand can be either fundamental analysis or technical analysis. We will see whether the stocks have an increasing demand in the marketplace and also whether the trading volume increasing in conjunction with the price. According to William J. O'Neill, the daily trading volume should be larger than the stock's average volume over the 3 months. Table 1 is the amount recorded on 14 June 2021. As we can see, the volume recorded in Table 1 is 1,658,800, while the average volume as recorded in Table 2 is 3,576,040. If we can compare to Iwcity, their daily trading volume is lower than the average volume. From here, we can conclude that there is less demand for this share. In this part, we want to discuss whether the company we select is on the list of major industry, a leader or the laggard. Companies that are major players in the industry can be seen based on the financial strength of the company and the size of the market capitalization of the company. Table 1 above shows that Sunway Company at the top with a market capitalization of 8.042 billion. This makes Sunway a major industry player in the property sector and the company acts as leader. As shown in Table 2, Iwcity is in 39th place. From here, we can clearly know that Iwcity is a laggard in this industry. Based on the figure above, it shows the comparison of stock movement between several companies. Sunway, the leader of the industry, is recorded a consistent trend, although there are fluctuations in their stock movement. In March 2021, the Sunway's stock price increased significantly from RM1.50 to RM1.70. Compared to Iwcity, the price recorded by this company is vastly different from Sunway. Iwcity's stock is underperformed as compared to its relative benchmark. The company recorded a decline in profit margin since 2017. We know that decline in profit margins also contributed to the decline in stock prices. Because of that, market capitalization recorded by Iwcity is lower, and hence we can conclude that Iwcity is a laggard in the industry. Next is institutional investors. They are important in the company as they have more expertise and resources than retail investors. As we can see, Mr. Ong Yong Yok recently made an acquisition and disposal, and he's one of the biggest shareholders in Iwcity with 18.91 million value of shares. Refer back to table 1, the later insiders Lim Keng Guan and Tan Sri Datuk Lim Kang Hu recently made several acquisitions towards Iwcity share. Tan Sri Datuk Lim Kang Hu is the executive vice chairman, while Lim Keng Guan is the executive director of Iwcity. Although Iwcity do not have institutional investors showed in their recent transaction, they still have sufficient strong entities that make a great purchasing power and indirectly can move the market direction. What we can highlight is the adjusted float of 59.9% means the 59.9% of shares was owned by retail investors. The rest 40.1% means that the shares are owned by institutional investors and insiders. A high adjusted float will cause the counter to wake and the price to slowly rise. In the case of Iwcity, we can consider the percentage of 40.1% is quite high, and they still have insufficient institutional investors or sharks, and this will indirectly increase the demand of their stocks. Next, we move to the market direction of this company. To be able to schedule our stock purchase correctly, we must first understand the broader and overall market direction. As we can see on the chart above, it shows the stock trend is declining. This is when the market conditions start to bearish and are in downtrending. The risk ratio becomes greater than the return, and consequently the failure rate is also higher. However, if we look to short-term analysis in month March and April, there are slight increase in Iwcity's trend stocks. This is considered as a good result, but if we look the trend for a long term, the market is in downtrending. In conclusion, proper stock selection can be done using the cancelling method founded by William J. O'Neill. Stock selection using the cancelling method is a quick way to find potential stocks before institutional investors invest in those stocks. To be a good investor, we need to have a good understanding of the stock business we are involved in and the company we want to invest in. That's all from me. Thank you.